Well, welcome, friends, to our Interfaith Prayer and discussion. This is meeting number 189. The purpose of this meeting is to foster the devotional character of our society and to bring understanding among different religions and the followers that all religions have a common foundation. Thereby, we collectively try to remove the religious prejudice that is a serious obstacle to achieve world peace. And we hope we are contributing our part in achieving that. And we'll have a distinguished speaker, Dr. Archana Vedantam, and she will be giving a talk later. The program is honoring the indigenous people and the land, and then we have the devotional part where there will be 2 pieces of music and holy writings, 8 pieces, and then closing music. So now I invite Dr. Ahmed Anis Ahmed to honor the indigenous people and the land.
Okay. Acknowledging and honoring indigenous land and people. There is widespread acknowledgement that the present-day structures of society are ill-prepared to address the needs of humanity in its current travels. Much that was widely assumed to be certain and unshakable is being questioned, and the resulting firmament is producing a longing for a unifying vision. The chorus of voices raised in support of oneness, equality, and justice shows how many share these aspirations for their societies. This is from Resolution Message of 2023, Universal House of Justice. Now, we acknowledge and pay respect to the past, present, and future traditional custodians and elders of this nation, which we call Australia, and the continuation of cultural, spiritual, and educational practices of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. We acknowledge Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders tribes were the first sovereign nations of the Australian continent. The Gadigal of the Eora Nation are the traditional custodians of this place we now call Sydney, and Wangal people are traditional owners of Bearwood, where Siva and wife live. I live in Ku-ring-gai. I welcome you to the meeting.
Thank you. Thank you.
अथ षोडशोऽध्यायः श्रीभगवानुवाच अभयं सत्त्वसंशुद्धिः ज्ञानयोगव्यवस्थितिः दानं दमश्च यज्ञश्च स्वाध्यायस्तप आर्जवम् अहिंसा सत्यमक्रोधः त्यागः शान्तिरपैशुनम् दया भूतेष्वलोलुप्त्वम् मार्दवम् ह्रीरचापलम् तेजक्षमा धृतिः शौचम् अद्रोहो नातिमानिता भवन्ति सम्पदम् दैवीम् अभिजातस्य भारत
Oh Lord, according to all your righteousness, I pray. Let your anger and your fury be turned away from your city, Jerusalem, your holy mountain, because for our sins and for the iniquities of our fathers, Jerusalem and your people are a reproach to all those around us. Now, therefore, our God, hear the prayer of your servant and his supplications, and for the Lord's sake, cause your face to shine on your sanctuary, which is desolate. Oh my God, incline your ear and hear. Open your eyes and see our desolations, and the city which is called by your name, and the city which is called by your name. For we do not present our supplications before you because of our righteous deeds, but because of your great mercies. Oh Lord, hear. Oh Lord, forgive. Oh Lord, listen and act. Do not delay, for your own sake, my God, for your city.
O Lord, thou possessor of infinite mercy, O Lord of forgiveness and pardon, forgive our sins, pardon our shortcomings, and cause us to turn to the kingdom of thy clemency, invoking the kingdom of might and power. Humble at thy shrine, and submissive before the glory of thine evidences. O Lord God, make us as waves of the sea, as flowers of the garden, united, agreed through the bounties of thy love. O Lord, dilate the breasts through the signs of thy oneness, and make all mankind as stars shining from the same height of glory, as perfect fruits growing upon thy tree of life. Verily, thou art the Almighty, the self-subsistent, the giver, the forgiving, the pardoner, the omniscient, the one creator. The High Scriptures.
Of the sin against God, thou art atonement. Of the sin against mankind, thou art atonement. For sin against the fathers, thou atonest. Of the sin against oneself, you art atonement. Of every sort of sin, you art atonement. The sin that I have knowingly committed, and that unawares I have committed, of all that wickedness, you art atonement. O endowed transcendent one, I myself and others request that you cleanse wrongs and hindrances from all sentient beings and purify every weakened and broken sacred word of honor. Thank you.
O Son of Man, the true lover, yearnest for tribulation, even as those rebel for forgiveness and the sinful for mercy. O Son of Man, resist not the sins of others, so long as you are thyself a sinner. Soon you transgress his command, accursed could you be, and to this I bear witness. O oppressors on earth, withdraw your hands from tyranny, for I have pledged myself not to forgive any man's injustice. This is my covenant, which I have irrevocably decreed in a preserved tablet and sealed with my seal by High Scriptures.
A religious student who retains what he has learned, who finds pleasure in the fulfillment of the law, who keeps the rules of studentship, who is upright and forgiving, attains perfection. The one who strikes others is not a hermit. One is not an ascetic who insults others. Not to blame, not to strike, to live restrained under the law, to be moderate in eating, to live alone, and to practice the highest consciousness. This is the teaching of the awakened ones. Let us live in joy, not hating those who hate us. Among those who hate us, we live free of hate. Let us live in joy, free from greed among the greedy. Among those who are greedy, we live free of greed. Let us live in joy, though we possess nothing. Let us, sorry, it's covered below. It doesn't go up. I can't read the last part. It's covered.
If we
Let us live feeding on joy like the bright gods, Buddhist scriptures.
If we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us. If we confess our sins, He is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. Christianity. If thou, Lord, shouldest mark iniquities, O Lord, who shall stand? But there is forgiveness with thee, that thou mayest be feared. I wait for the Lord. My soul doeth wait, and in his word do I hope. Judaism.
Allah beckons by His grace to the garden of bliss and forgiveness and makes His signs clear to mankind, that they may celebrate His praise. The believers are nothing else than brothers in Islam. So make reconciliation between your brothers and fear Allah, that you may receive mercy. O mankind, we created you from male and female and made you into nations and tribes, that ye may know each other, not that ye may despise each other. Verily, the most honored of you in the sight of Allah is he who is the most righteous of you. And Allah has full knowledge and is fully informed. Islamic scriptures.
It is also recorded in the Gospel according to St. Luke that on a certain day Jesus passed by a Jew who was sick of the palsy and lay upon a couch. When the Jew saw him, he recognized him and cried out for his help. Jesus said unto him, Arise from thy bed, thy sins are forgiven thee. Certain of the Jews standing by protested, saying, Who can forgive sins but God alone? And immediately he perceived their thoughts. Jesus answering said unto them, Whether it is easier to say to the sick of the palsy, Arise and take up thy bed and walk, or to say, Thy sins are forgiven thee, that ye may know that the Son of Man hath power on earth to forgive sins. This is the real sovereignty, and such is the power of God's chosen ones. All these things, which we have repeatedly mentioned, and the details which we have cited from diverse sources, have no other purpose but to enable thee to grasp the meaning of the allusions in the utterances of the chosen ones of God, lest certain of these utterances cause thy feet to falter and thy heart to be dismayed. Bahá'í Scripture.
O children of men, if ye believe in the one true God, follow me. This most great remembrance of God, sent forth by your Lord, that he may graciously forgive you your sins. Verily, he is the forgiving and compassionate towards the concourse of the faithful. We of a truth choose a messenger through the potency of our word, and we exalt their offspring, some over others, through the great remembrance of God, as decreed in the book and concealed therein. Bahá'í Scriptures.
I beg thee to forgive me, oh my Lord, for every mention but the mention of thee, for every praise but the praise of thee, for every delight but delight in thy nearness. Every pleasure but the pleasure of communion with thee, for every joy but the joy of thy life and of thy good for all things pertaining unto me, which bear no relationship unto thee. O thou who art the Lord of Lords, he who provideth the means and unlocketh the doors. O thou who art the Lord of Lords, he who provideth the means and unlocketh the doors. O thou who art the Lord of Lords, he who provideth the means and unlocketh the doors. O thou who art the Lord of Lords, he who provideth the means and unlocketh the doors. O thou who art the Lord of Lords, he who provideth the means and unlocketh the doors. O thou who art the Lord of Lords, he who provideth the means and unlocketh the doors. He who provideth the means and unlocketh the doors. He who provideth the means and unlocketh the doors.
Thank you all who has read these holy writings. The theme was forgiveness. I strongly believe that by practicing forgiveness, we can come closer and bring unity and peace in the world, just as it is said in these writings and also in the Lord's Prayer. Now the devotional part is over. We are going to our speaker, Dr. Archana Vedantam. Her credentials. She is a very young, creative person. Her CV is so big. She's an educator, lawyer, and she has a PhD in management. And she's an academic at the Hyderabad Institute of Interior, Textile and Management Studies. Yeah, she has published many papers in prestigious journals covering diverse subjects such as management, psychology, and law. Her commitment to pushing the boundaries of knowledge in the field is unwavering. And she is a registered High Court advocate in India. Her degrees in cyber laws and intellectual property rights acquired from Central University of Hyderabad further showcases her dedication to continuous learning and mastering new domains. And I can see that she's very versatile in many things. Her quest for knowledge doesn't stop here. So she is exploring diverse fields such as forensic science from Sherlock Institute of Forensic Sciences and various psychology courses on platforms like Udemy, including transactional analysis and forensic science. And her diverse academic qualification, including biotechnology, an MBA in tourism and hospitality, shows how talented she is. But she is very, very young, and also she has attended once or twice before our this forum, and she is going to talk about quality of courage for world peace. So, Archana, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you everyone for the opportunity. Let me share the screen. Is the screen visible?
Yes.
So, what is courage? Can anyone give your views?
What is courage? To be able to face the challenges.
Yes. And
sometimes accepting our own faults also requires courage.
wonderful, sir. And any more ideas? What is courage?
To stand up for your principles, despite the fear of consequences, other people making fun of you, for example.
Courage is brave. That's the interpretation from dictionary, I think.
Pardon, ma'am. Once again. Confidence is?
Courage is brave.
Oh, yes.
To be brave means to be courageous.
That's our next slide. Okay. Okay. So what is courage? It is exerting our willpower to achieve goals in the presence of opposition, whether the opposition can be from the external sources or internal struggles, our own internal conflicts, or powerful people, external sources, example, like facing powerful people or a system, fighting against a system, or internal struggles, our own fears, our own self-esteem, the way we talk to ourselves. So what is courage? It is exerting willpower to achieve our goals, even in the presence of, even though we have all the negatives that are stopping us. So then what is the difference between bravery and courage? Any ideas?
Bravery, I don't know. Maybe bravery is something to do with physical, but courage include physical as well as mental, spiritual.
Wonderful, sir. Perfect. So bravery is ability to do what needs to be done despite fear. There is fear and we are doing what needs to be done, like a duty. Bravery makes one to do unpopular but correct things, to face any terminal illness like cancer with an equanimity of mind, and to resist peer pressure of people around regarding a morally questionable shortcut or like that. Example, a firefighter running into a burning building to save someone despite being afraid, despite having the fear, the firefighter runs into the building and saves someone. This is an example of bravery. But courage involves exerting willpower to achieve goals in the presence of opposition, whether from external sources or internal struggles, our own internal conflicts or the external things like power, all those things, systems, fighting against a system, fighting against an injustice. So it is ability to achieve goals in the presence of opposition. Here there is opposition. In bravery, the opposition is our own fear, despite having fear, doing something bravely. So example of courage is police and military specialists who defuse bombs. And we have so many examples of courage. Can anyone guess who she is?
Joan of Arc. She's a French.
Yes. Wonderful, ma'am. Great. Any more points about her?
She got burned in the stake because she made revolution against the imperial court, the king.
Yes. Perfect. See, she showed courage. When we are all alone and many people are against us. For example, if I am all alone and there are so many people teaming up against me to defeat me, it should not make me fear. It should make me feel how powerful I am, because I'm all alone and there is a system or there is some injustice or there are so many against me. So Joan of Arc is an example for such a courage. She is known as Maid of Orleans, French heroine, as ma'am said, and military leader during the 100 Years' War. She claimed to have received messages from God to help Charles VII become the French king. Despite numerous challenges, she led the French army to several victories before she was captured, put on trial for religious crimes, and burned. In 1920, the Catholic Church recognized her as a saint for her courage and for all her abilities. Her strength, her faith, her determination has captured people for centuries. Joan of Arc's bravery was not just in her military leadership, but also in her dignified responses to challenges. And standing against unfairness. And her courage is also seen in her ultimate sacrifice for the beliefs she has. Her actions, which changed the course of history, it always continues to inspire people around the world. even today. And another recent example, Malala Yousafzai. She advocated for girls' education in Pakistan despite facing threats. She is a young girl, despite facing threats, inspiring others and bringing international attention to the cause. So, another example of courage. Nelson Mandela. So, Nelson Mandela, he fought against apartheid in South Africa, inspiring millions and ultimately leading to peace, inclusive society. His dedication during 27 years jail time. See, enduring the 27 years of jail term, even that shows his courage. In different islands, it's a testament to his resilience and inner strength. His ability to maintain his physical, mental well-being is a testament to his extraordinary inner strength and commitment to his cause. He was helpless. He was in jail. Still, the inner strength moved him and his commitment to the cause. Now, how courage shapes a peaceful world? Can anyone give their views?
You talking about the way ahead? This is more like the way ahead. Mean for the near future or the long future, we don't really know. Because at the moment, I can't see any courage at all. In anywhere.
Still more ideas, ma'am?
Well, courage is when masses do not believe that world peace can happen. But if you have the courage of believing it, that it will happen. So that's the courage.
Wonderful. And how courage helps us to have a peaceful world?
If the intention is for peace, if the intention is for the betterment of the world and all humankind, then you have the courage to pursue your intention that the world will become peaceful. Thank you.
Wonderful, ma'am. Courage and understanding. Courage fosters empathy and understanding across diverse communities. See, I'm a girl who is brought up in a village environment, and even my English language is not that good. Still, I worked in international convention centers, talked with people from different countries, and even now we are from different backgrounds, different places. Without very good preparation, still I'm managing to speak. Even this is courage. and you are listening, that is your empathy and understanding. So courage fosters empathy and understanding across diverse communities and nations. How? By encouraging individuals to accept themselves and also others unconditionally. Accepting people, radically accepting people just the way they are without thinking to change them or to influence them. Then this is radical acceptance. It is raining. Yes, it is raining. We just accept it as it is. We don't think negatively. Why does it has to rain today? Today I have an important meeting, or today I have an important work. This will ruin my entire day. See, this kind of negative thoughts, all this subjective thoughts, negative thoughts, that's not acceptance. Yes, it is raining and I'll deal with it. So whatever problem we get, we somehow deal it, and that is radical acceptance. So embracing radical acceptance means fully accepting and embracing the reality of the situation. just as I have shown in the example before, embracing the reality of the situation without resisting or wishing for it to be different. See, just because I wish the nature has to be different, it won't change. We should accept what we cannot change. It's about accepting the present moment, even if it comes with pain or discomfort. Rather than fighting against our circumstances, radical acceptance encourages us to let go of resistance and approach life with an open mind, unconditionally accepting things. Then how it helps peace, courage helps in conflict resolution. It enables individuals to confront the need for change and accept different perspectives. It needs courage to accept diverse perspectives, to have self-reflection. It needs courage to question myself whether my thoughts are right or not. It needs courage to listen to young ma'am or Pina ma'am and believing them and going by their advices. It needs courage. So, courage enables individuals to confront the need for change and accept different, diverse perspectives, which paves the way for peaceful conflict resolution. In any conflict, the understanding comes from courage. By listening from all sides, from the side of victim, like for example, there is a case on a criminal, listening even to the criminal, why he did something, what causes him to do that. So then courage and compassion. Individuals can cultivate compassion, forgiveness, which are essential for building peaceful societies, and even to resolve historical animosities. So courage is needed to take the first step and to have the guts to do something to solve the issue. Then courage and resilience. Cultivating courage empowers individuals to navigate through challenging situations with invulnerability. Resilience, previously it was called as invulnerability, means not being vulnerable, not being weak, despite having opposing problematic circumstances or people or conflicts inside or outside. Then courage and global transformation, how it helps transforming the global scenario. When individuals collectively embody courage and radical acceptance, they play an important role in global transformation towards a, because we all can understand, we can discuss, we can have better ideas. So courage helps in taking the steps needed for bringing the change that is needed in the society, like towards the peace from war or towards unity from differences. Then, by embracing positive change with courage, we can contribute to ripple effect of peace. Ripple effect, creating more compassionate and understanding world for current and even future generations. Then courage is an important factor in contributing to world peace in multiple ways. These are some of the ways I said till now. And injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Why remembering this is important is because I learned that most of the criminals or people who harm others, they are people who suffered. There is one quotation from Carl Jung. He says, healthy person doesn't torture others. It is the tortured who become torturers. Somebody who suffered, who went, who had extreme stress, frustration, trauma, it is they who again give back to the world. They got the bad and negative things. They have suffered so much, and the same suffering they are reflecting back to the world. So we all should have courage to fight against injustice anywhere. Even the cheap dopamine, like social networking, what we use now, which gives dopamine is a hormone. There are 4 happiness hormones. We call it DOSE: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. Dopamine is a happiness hormone that makes us get addicted, like using Facebook, WhatsApp, time pass, all these things, cigarette, smoke, whatever gives you happiness, which is short term and doesn't help you in the long term, it gives a dopamine kick. And it's a cheap dopamine. So this can cause frustration in the long term. And someone who got frustrated with life, who doesn't know the meaning of life, who gets extremely depressed, can become a criminal or can do something against the society, harming others or hurting others. So, did you know that about 1 in 8 people globally live with a mental disorder, according to World Health Organization report? Globally, one in every 8 humans, they have a mental disorder. So, good news is that courage can make a significant difference in managing mental disorders and having mental well-being. We need to have boundaries. Some of them get mental disorders because they went through trauma or they had a bad childhood. They don't know how to have boundaries, how to keep people in their limits, how to have my own limits. So having courage is important for a peaceful life. How courage empowers all of us. Asking for help, it acts as a guiding light, helping people overcome stigma and fear. It encourages people to seek help whenever there is a problem. Therapy support, then accepting vulnerability. See, there is no person who is not vulnerable. Like, there's no person who doesn't have any weakness. If there is somebody who doesn't have any weakness or anything to fear, absolutely no fear, there is no need for that person to put efforts to grow. There is no need for that person to become a hero. In any movie, it doesn't matter in which language it is. It can be a Superman in Hollywood or in our Tollywood. In any movie, the hero is a person who fights against something that is extremely strong, a system or a villain who is extremely stronger than him. He became a hero by accepting his vulnerabilities, knowing his strengths and weaknesses, and then fighting despite his fear, despite his vulnerability, despite his weaknesses, fighting for a cause. That's what makes him a hero. So this is my understanding. So accepting vulnerability also needs courage. See, for example, I didn't prepare well, so I didn't speak properly enough, and somebody says you need to improve so much, or your session is worst. I should not cry. I should accept. Having the courage to see, everybody make mistakes. Making mistakes is fine. I'll ask that person what all I can do to improve it. Where all I did my mistakes. What all I can do to make things better. So having the courage, instead of using criticism or anything negative as a feedback, if I sit in the corner and cry, it is just useless. And that leads to trauma, that leads to suffering. And again, because Carl Jung said, a healthy man does not harm others. It is the one who harmed or the one who is tortured will torture others. So I get so many negative feedbacks and I'll start spreading negativity everywhere because of that frustration. So, having the courage to recognize and accept vulnerability is important step in dealing with any mental health thing, and also for developing courage. It enables individuals to, this is for criminals. Then, becoming stronger. See how courage empowers us. It makes us become stronger. Courage helps people develop the inner strength to fight any problem, to face their fears, to fight setbacks with courage. People can develop coping mechanisms, belief in God, the inner strength. See, what we tell ourselves influences us so much. If I say I cannot do, I cannot. If I say I can, I can. So it's all in the mind. So how courage empowers us? It empowers us to speak up for ourselves. Like somebody is crossing their boundary and troubling us, or see, we know our limits. We can stop that person immediately. If we stop a wrong person in the initial steps, it doesn't lead to greater damage. Sometimes tolerance is also bad. So courage enables individuals to stand up for their own needs, their own rights, their own mental peace. Courage makes people set boundaries. By setting boundaries, we don't get harmed, we don't get frustrated, and we don't pass on that frustration to others. When we are peaceful, when we are stable, when we are happy, we spread happiness everywhere. So then, challenging negative beliefs. The negative beliefs we have, to change our beliefs, to question, to self-reflect our own values, our own beliefs, what we followed, to change our own mind. With the only thing that is constant is change. So change is something we have to accept in life, and to change with the right evidence, to accept if I am in a wrong belief, if what I believed to be true 5 years ago, now I got a new evidence to know that it is false. I should have courage to accept it. I should have courage. It empowers people to challenge negative thoughts, negative beliefs, and self-criticism. So instead of self-criticism, we should go for self-compassion, radical acceptance, accepting unconditionally. I accept myself unconditionally, the way I am, whatever I am, however I am. So I even accept others unconditionally, the way they are, whatever they are, however they are, unless they don't cross the boundary limit to harm me. So boundaries, to put the boundaries also, we need courage. To say, no, I don't allow this. It needs courage. And stopping the wrong things at the right time in the initial stages is always better than waiting till it becomes a complicated one. So challenging our negative beliefs, it needs courage, and it also helps reduce anxiety, depression. See, our thoughts, what we think, it affects our behavior. What we think affects how we feel. What we think affects how we behave. So challenging our thoughts, sometimes I sometimes think, is my own brain cheating me? Because see, I assume something, and that assumption may not be 100% right, because the assumptions is because of my sensual, what I see may not be right, what I feel may not be right, and we get angry sometimes thinking it as right. So thinking from many sides, challenging our
Mama, sit down.
negative thinking helps.
Then, so I never done reach that now. Where you get?
So influence of psychological theories on criminal behavior. As I said, various mental disorders or personality disorders, it can lead to criminal behavior. And why somebody gets such a disorder? Because they have tolerated injustice, they didn't know boundaries, they have suffered themselves. For example, people with antisocial personality disorder. People with antisocial personality disorder may exhibit disregard for others' feelings, and they engage in manipulative behavior. So, why somebody became antisocial? Because of their own inner struggles, think negative thoughts inside them, and also unable to face criticism. See, when I get frustrated because of outside conditions or my internal conflicts, I give back frustration to the world. When I know how to manage myself, when I am stable, when I am happy, I give back happiness to the world. So irrespective of external things, it's important to be stable. Once again.
Are you okay, Archana?
Yes, yes. Clear? Is it visible?
Yes.
So, biological theories, they suggest that neurobiological abnormalities caused by abuse and trauma, it can lead to criminal behavior. See, someone suffered will give back suffering to the world. So courage plays a significant role in helping people prevent or to prevent the trauma. When somebody is crossing their limit, when somebody is troubling me, I can stop that person in the initial stages itself. And that needs courage, so that I save myself and also I save others. So most of the criminals, so courage plays a significant role in helping individuals prevent or overcome trauma by empowering them to face challenges, to seek support, to set boundaries, to build resilience, to stand against injustice. In one study, is the screen visible?
Yeah, visible.
Okay to read, right?
Yes.
In a study of 36 violent people, in a study of 36 violent offenders, researchers found that those who acted violently without thinking had lower levels of substance inside their brain. The substance name is CSF, cerebrospinal fluid 5-hydroxyindoestic acid. It is produced from a happiness hormone called serotonin. They have less happy hormone serotonin inside their brain in most of the violent people. So we should manage our own happiness. When we manage our happiness, when we are stable, we don't harm others. So courage is needed to set boundaries and be stable. This substance, this serotonin substance is thought to be related to impulsive behavior. See, this says that when somebody is unhappy, depressed, having less happiness hormone serotonin inside them, they have this chemical produced less in the cerebrospinal fluid, and they'll be imbalanced, and most of them will behave impulsively without thinking, like doing murder or doing some violent act, breaking a law, doing some harm. So to be happy also we need courage. Mhm. And this suggests my has impulsivity rather than just violence. Okay. When serotonin is released in the brain, see, this chemical is from happiness hormone serotonin. It helps the body manage levels, happiness levels. This serotonin hormone helps manage the many things. Neurotransmitter serotonin hormone, also called as happy chemical, it plays an important role in regulating our mood, in keeping us stable, to get sleep, and also overall health, mental and physical. When the serotonin level is low, it dips, it can lead to feeling of anxiety, it can cause sadness, it can cause trouble sleeping. So always engage in activities you enjoy to naturally boost the happiness hormone, serotonin levels, and promote well-being of ourselves and also others. And when we are happy and when we are strong, when we are stable, we can have courage. We can have willpower. We can have will to stand up against unfairness. Like Rosa Parks, she refused to give up her bus seat, inspiring others, even others, to fight against racial discrimination. Courage gives. It's one example. Rosa Parks refused to give up her bus seat, inspiring others to fight against racial discrimination. So when we are happy and when we have courage, we can be happy. When we have courage, we can be stable. When we have courage, we can set boundaries and keep people in their limits so that we don't become a victim and then do some crime or harm others. So when we are stable ourselves, we can stand up against unfairness or any injustice and also help others. We cannot pour from an empty cup. If I have tea inside my cup, I can give tea to others. If I have hatred inside my cup, I can only give hatred to others. So to have my cup with the tasty tea or tasty liquid I love, I should be happy. Then fostering dialogue and reconciliation. Example, Mahatma Gandhi. In India, Mahatma Gandhi led peaceful protests. It needs courage to show the other cheek to someone who is violent. It needs so much of courage, and Mahatma Gandhi is an example who resolved conflicts and united opposing groups with his patience and his courage. Then, to advocate human rights. Roosevelt is an example. He advocated human rights globally, emphasizing the importance of individual dignity. When I have respect for myself, I can respect even others. So, Roosevelt, he showed it with his life. It's an example. It's one example. So, courage helps us to advocate for human rights, to support another, to foster dialogue, um, to stand up against unfairness, to inspire others. This is one example. Tubman led enslaved individuals to freedom, motivating others to fight for justice and equality. When we stand with courage, we even inspire others to do that. Then challenging the status quo, it needs courage and it leads to peace. All these things leads to peace, not just radical acceptance. Radical acceptance is good, but radical acceptance should not be used in tolerating the wrongs. So Antony fought for women's rights, advocating for gender equality. She challenged the status quo because of courage, and even that gives equality, gives peace. So courage is essential in standing up for what is right and striving for a more peaceful world. So this is one example. American serial killer, David. He's also called as son of Sam. He killed 6 people in New York and injured many people. And he did that because he believed a demon transmitted orders to kill to his neighbor's dog. It's a mental disorder, schizophrenia. And he got that because his serotonin levels are low in the brain. He's not, he's not happy himself. Frustration, all these things made him. This is one mental disorder, bipolar disorder, even it affects people. So all these disorders, basically the root cause of all these, we can say courage also plays a part, because they are too soft. They didn't stop the exploitation in the initial stages. They went through trauma and then they became criminals and gave negativity back to the society.
Thank you.
So
I think we can have some discussion now.
yes. So finally, everyone is an existence that originally branched off from one immense cosmic tree. So please love each other, as everybody comes from the same root. Hatred and conflict arise from differences in race or religion, but understanding that we are all branches from the same basic tree can eliminate the hatred from there. So what many religions speak about courage. Never pray to God for release of your problems. Never pray to God to change your life and to give you something better. This is wrong prayer. If you pray to God to provide you with strength, wisdom, and courage that you need to be able to handle the situation, the tough situation you are in. That's what Advaita philosophy says. We cannot defeat darkness by running from it, nor can we conquer our inner demons by hiding them from the world. So in order to defeat the darkness, we must bring it to light. Self-reflection. What religions say? Sikhism says courage does not mean the absence of fear. It means acting despite fear. Christianity says have courage while being kind. See, being soft and strong is not something many people can do. And courage is a ladder. Hinduism says it's a ladder on which all other virtues mount. Islam says courage is not the absence of fear, but winning over fear. Buddhism says courage is knowing what not to fear. Then being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while someone deeply. Okay, Confucius says being deeply loved by someone gives us strength, while loving someone, when we love people, it gives us courage. It gives us confidence to fight for them. So when we love people, we can fight for them. We can fight for their rights. Courage is not the absence of despair, but the capacity to move ahead in spite of it. And Sikhism says true courage is being afraid, still going ahead and doing our job. This is from Hebrew Bible. True courage and strength are a way of life, as written in Torah. Never hurt others, even though you were hurt by them. Therefore, when we love others, you have no enemy. In the world of oneness, it all comes down to that. I am happier than ever. Even though I am about to perish and be killed, I am happy to realize it. Happiness is inside us. Remember to have the courage to accept what you cannot change and change what you can, and to have the wisdom to know what we can change and what we cannot. It's important to strive for wholeness and be open-minded in our thoughts and actions. Sometimes we have to be brave and walk alone, find our true paths to reach our self-realization. When you stop fearing the unknown, love and grace lead you. There are two types of people. It's within us. See, same circumstances, same situation. We can be imbalanced, frustrated, get depressed, have less happiness hormone in the brain, and then cause trouble to others. When we suffer inside, we give suffering to others. So despite situation, if we are stable, we can manage ourselves well. We are happy despite internal and external conflicts. We can spread happiness in the place where we are. So take charge of both your subjective and objective. We have two minds. So subjective mind is basing on our feelings, basing on our senses. We believe what we see, or we believe what we hear. We believe what our parents taught us. All these things, what our elders told us, all it's a subjective. Objective is only on facts and evidences. So having taking care of both of these is important for our mental health. So social connections and managing our thought patterns and our reactions to events can shape our reality. Our reaction, see, it's the same event. He reacted differently and he reacted differently. So our reaction is in our control, in our own inner strength, in our own beliefs and values. And our reactions keeps us happy, and also when we are happy, we spread happiness. So make thoughtful choices about your thoughts and actions with an open mind. So finally, peace is present right here and now. If we suffer thinking about our past mistakes, or if we are anxious and suffer thinking about future, when we are suffering for any reason, by thinking about past or future because of injustice in the world or any reason, when we are suffering inside, that is what we give to the world outside. So to spread happiness, we have to be happy inside. Like this man, irrespective of situation, we have to be stable, happy, have our happiness hormones proper by taking care of self. So this Buddhist monk said, peace is present right here and now. Think only about this present moment. Every morning when we get up, I think I died and I got a new life. Today is the only day I am going to, today is my life. And by night, my life ends. Without thinking anything about past or future. So peace is present right here in ourselves, in everything we do and in everything we see in this moment. Right now, every breath we take, every step we take, it can be filled with peace, joy, and happiness. Happiness is an inside job. It has nothing to do with people or situations. It's all in our hands. The question is whether or not we are in touch with it, our own inner soul, the inner strength. We need only to be awake, alive in this present moment. So thank you.
Thank you.
Again.
Thank you very much. It's a very well researched, thorough presentation. You covered as many diverse subjects in one topic. I think we have only about half an hour left, so let's have some brief comments or questions. Just before that, I just want to share can you see my do you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. Well, there's something called a virtues project where they have different virtues, and courage is one of them, and they have description about it. Maybe if people go to virtuesproject.com, you can see this. And when you mentioned about the courage and the inner strength, it reminded me of these hidden words by Baha'u'llah, which says that, O son of being, with the hands of power I made thee, with the fingers of strength I created thee, and within thee have I placed the essence of my light. Be thou content with it and seek not else. For my work is perfect and my command is binding. Question it not, nor have a doubt thereof. So the inner strength is in believing what is within us. It's the essence of God's light. If we can create that understanding in everyone, they will have this courage or happiness or whatever, contentment. And also there was you mentioned about the peace and happiness is within us. This is a quote from the Universal Laws of Justice. It says, the inner joy that every individual seeks, unlike a passing emotion, it is not contingent on outside influences. It is a condition born of certitude and conscious knowledge, fostered by a pure heart, which is able to distinguish between that which has permanence and that which is superficial. So it is not the joy that we are seeking is not from outside, is it within ourselves, which actually what you were trying to say. Thank you very much. And I now ask Colin and then Jung and then Marina.
Thank you, Chana. I very much enjoyed the talk, and I was just picking up on the point you made about boundaries and the courage to set boundaries. Reminded me of a presentation we had in this forum recently about what it's like to be a victim of domestic violence, and we learnt that they had to be able to set boundaries and, if necessary, to leave. And all of those things need courage, and courage can be supported. Courage needs support. There's various things which give you that courage, help you to decide and help you to make the step. One of those things you talked about is the inner strength, the spiritual side of things. God can give you that courage to face what seems to be unknown. And then there's external support. If you're lucky enough to live in a country where the culture supports people to escape from violence, and then being able to see the possibilities helps give courage. So if the government or agencies provide refuge, then you can see a possibility there. So I think there's just want to comment, there's ways to support courage, I think.
Thank you. And Young.
Thank you very much, Dr. Archana. I just wonder, I got a curious question here. Have you ever done any research or study into food and drink nutrition? You know, like if we want to be happy, we should have happy meals, like McDonald's, or happy tablets or happy vitamins. And therefore, with mental condition, mental illness, bipolar and everything, people lost balance and everything, I think one of the best things is we look at cancer, illness. So the best thing to cure them is by food and drink. The reason why they go into anxiety and depression and disorder because they have food today, probably one bowl of corn or cornflakes, or if they're lucky, but they don't know what they're gonna eat tomorrow. So how I'm talking, I'm just like to narrow the subject a little bit, but you know, you talk about keeping boundaries. It means that you say there's no invasion, no conquer, people not step into other people's land. But in real life, if a land got so like can grow crop and rice and veggie, obviously some people will be very hungry and just want to step into that. And that's not invasion. And a lot of people, they have so much justice and equality in their life, and they still screaming for justice and equality, and they cry for it. So how we gonna know that they cry true or false? Because they just want dollars. A lot of dollars will fix them up and they'll be happy. No complication. You know, you need happy vitamins. That's why we have, you know, like cocaine and all that. That's why people manufacture cocaine. So we just have to be realistic. Because I think, you know, we can just go forward, but we don't look around. You know, we have to be realistic what people are facing. They have no vitamin, no medicine, nothing. They're screaming because they're hungry, they're starvation, they're imbalanced. Not because they want to be imbalanced, but they go and rob people because they have no money to eat. So now they steal in the cars. The young people now, if the parent can't afford to feed them, you know, they can steal 29 cars in 1 month. That police report. And that crime. So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things talk about courage. I'm not just saying that we don't need courage, but courage is a second condition. The first thing gotta be physical, mental well-being first. Then people can be acting balanced, and therefore courage will be born. If they're too hungry, they cannot be courageous. I mean, if they're too hungry and they fainted and they sick and they ill, they cannot be courageous. So courage is a second condition. Thank you.
Thank you.
Agree, ma'am. Courage needs willpower, and to have willpower, courage gives mental health, mental, physical health we get with courage. And to have courage, we should have willpower. And for willpower, we need stable nutrition, all those things.
Yeah, but you say God, courage is one of the virtues from God. But most of people, they not reached to that standard yet. They haven't go to that enlightenment yet. They on the process of improve themselves, whatever, so they can step up the ladders. Just like 7 values. You go step 1, step 2, step 3. But you're talking at a very high level of God and communication and divine virtues and everything. And courage is one of them. But I'm talking about realistic of human life and human, animal, and what you call sentient beings. They have to have condition. And condition, if they starve in how they can have courage. Even that they are empowered with enlightenment.
Somebody, in the example what you said, somebody may not have food to eat, and they can still be courageous. I have an example for this. Jain Sallekana. There is something called Sallekana. Some of the Jains follow. They don't eat. They die without eating and just doing the meditation like that. That's called Sallekana. You can search about it in the Google. In that Jain Sallekana, they show having control on hunger, having control on mind, despite not having food. And that needs courage.
Yeah, but I'm talking about natural healing, madam. This is natural healing. There's no medicine here. I don't want to talk about medicine because it makes me feel like the rich can afford medicine, but the poor cannot, because some medicine that cost up to $40,000 for a few tablets. So the rich can afford it, just like, but the poor, they can't afford all that luxurious medicine, right?
Yes,
So you
ma'am.
gotta be realistic here, right?
Realistically, courage doesn't need any medicine. It needs having belief on our own inner strength.
Yes, I think, I mean, if we all examine ourselves, what is the purpose of life? God has a purpose, who created us has a purpose, and he has given all the potential qualities within every one of us. And if that realization is there, they can bring out these qualities that is hidden in everyone. And when they bring out, all the problems that we face can be overcome. Anyway, I'll go to Marina, and also Ahmad, if you can, you have put something on the comment, if you can explain after Marina, please.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. It was nice to know about courage and things. But I just want to know, you mentioned about the happy hormone. Is there something more in, because we see a lot of younger people committing, these bad offenses. Is the happy hormone sort of something which grows up with the, with the age, or is it something which is due to the family situation? Because we, in Australia, in Sydney, we see quite a lot of younger people into trouble than the, elderly. When I say elderly, sort of after 50, you could say, 50, it doesn't happen. Is it something happy hormone is more in the younger people, difficult to find much, or is it some age related thing? They haven't grown up much, or not grown up, like the hormone hasn't grown up in them.
We can be happy when we have integrated all our, when there is no internal conflict inside our mind and heart. When we are flexible to the struggles or any environmental problems, or when we are flexible to face any problem, when we are flexible outside and internally we are stable, then we can be happy. Outside people cannot affect us because we don't value. When I know what I am, others' opinion doesn't affect me. For example, I'm doctorate and also an advocate. Somebody calls me stupid, idiot, fool. Will that affect me? No. When I know what I am, others' opinions or criticisms, or when I have stability within me, when I connected the limited me, when I see myself as my soul, not my body, not the food I eat, not my looks, beauty, all that. When I see myself as a soul, the soul which is there in every human being, and when I connect the limited me, my soul, to the unlimited God, the unlimited universe, I will have courage, stability, and happiness. When I'm happy by understanding things, and when I'm happy by the way I am, automatically I will have happiness hormone. Generally, younger people are more impulsive and do criminal acts because they suffer multiple things. Understanding is not developed, maturity, understanding, family, the kind of family they are in, Even the environment affects. If the parents are, somebody can have a narcissistic parent who tortures the child, or the parent who suffered trauma, she got a bipolar disorder or some mental personality disorder, and they can put pressure and they can cause some pain to the child. Even that makes, even our environment affects us. Even though I am stable, for example, I am very stable, people cannot affect me, I am very strong, and if I go and sit on a fire, will that not burn me? It will still burn me. So environment also affects us. So younger generations, if main cause, it could be the environment they are in and their ability to understand and manage themselves. That could be the reason.
Thank you.
Yes, Ahmad.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Vedantam. It was beautiful talk, very nice. I enjoyed it. Very fruitful things in there. What I wanted to say is, well, I have a question and then what I've written in the chat. There is a tablet by Baha'u'llah. It's called Words of Wisdom, and it talks about different things and then essence of different things. And he says, for courage, the source of courage and power is the promotion of the word of God and a steadfastness in his love. Words of Wisdom by Baha'u'llah. Now, my question is whether there is a negative courage and a positive courage. Because we see, for example, one of these Daesh people standing in front of the camera, holding a man and beheading the man. For us, this is a disorder. This is mental disorder. But for him, probably is courage, because he thinks that he has courage to kill a person in that way and show it off. So I'm wondering whether there is negative courage and positive courage, and the negative courage comes out of, mental disorder, whereas positive courage comes from a brave and bright mind. So what's your thoughts on this? Whether we have a negative courage, or whether courage is positive, the lack of courage is negative courage?
Wonderful question, sir. In my view, negative courage is when somebody undergoes a trauma, they suffered so much in their life. They'll have some functional and chemical changes inside their brain. There can be the reduction of hippocampus part of the brain, or the emotional part of the brain, amygdala, it gets disturbed. So that causes disorder, and that can make him show the negative courage of doing some criminal act or harming somebody, being violent. Positive courage is just as how, just the comment, what you kept in that comment box. When we are steadfast, when we are stable, when we connect our limited self to the unlimited universe, when we connect our soul to the God, then we have positive courage, because we believe in God, because we believe in soul, because we are stable, we don't do wrong things, we don't harm others, we know our limits, and we don't let even others harm us. So that's positive courage. Negative courage is from a damage, because they don't know boundaries, they don't know how to manage themselves and others, they don't know how to manage situations, they have undergone trauma because of their parents or family environment or social causes, education, many reasons. Somebody can undergo trauma because of there are many reasons. Anything can make someone suffer trauma. Losing a loved one also can make. And when someone undergoes extreme trauma, it affects their brain. When their brain is affected, they will show negative courage, which is harmful for the country, society, people. Thank you.
I guess that the statistic is right. There are many people that have this problem, and 1 in 8, as you said, have mental disorder that could lead to this negative courage or lack of courage.
Okay, thank you. Vasunda and then Sandy.
You mentioned about 2 kinds of mind. Is it same as the subconscious mind and the conscious mind in your presentation?
That's different, ma'am. Subconscious mind, conscious mind is when we do something, we know why we are doing it. We have a clarity. Subconscious mind is we do not know why we are doing it because we have some childhood influences inside our brain. Like somebody became a criminal because of his childhood trauma. He forgot what happened to him, but that violent behavior, it's because of his subconscious thing. And there are many examples. Subconscious is what we do not know. What is influencing us to go after something? What is motivating us to do something? When we have clarity of why, it is conscious mind. When the hidden which we don't know, we ourselves don't know, which is in the subconscious part of the mind, that is different.
But you mentioned substantial or something, substantial mind in your presentation.
That is objective and subjective.
Subjective, yeah. Okay.
Objective is seeing things objectively without emotion, rationally, only truths, evidences. Subjective is believing what we see, believing what we hear. So we cannot get evidence for everything. For example, belief in God it cannot be objective. God cannot be objective. We can't show evidences and all. So subjective is our idea on something, our analysis on something because of our sense organs. I see sky as blue, but in reality sky is not blue, but it appears blue because of that reflection and refraction. So I can't see air. I can't see air, but air exists. Just because I cannot see, my sense of eyes cannot see, it doesn't mean it is not there. It is there. So air is there, it's objective. If I can feel the air, that's subjective. Subjective and objective both. Subjective is how we perceive.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, objective means like you stand on a helicopter and you look at things. That's that objective in a helicopter sort of views.
Helicopter view, perfect, ma'am.
Yeah, you're just up there.
When we don't use our emotions and we see things just the way they are.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you. Sandy and then Pina.
Thank you for the nice talk, and quite a few things which I never thought in these lines, and especially the clarity and the distinction between courage and what is the other thing? Bravery, yes. And it's a good talk in the sense, and I think overall there are certain take-home messages also for all of us. And at the same time, you mentioned at some point acceptance. Yes, I think that is very vital, because in this Interfaith Forum, I have heard in some other forums that people talk of tolerance, not acceptance. Actually, tolerance is it is not a great thing, because you can grumble and accept something, that is tolerance. But this acceptance is the correct one, which is needed, especially among all religions and all denominations of religions. Thank you.
Thank you. And Pina?
Thank you so much for this wonderful talk, Dr. Archana. So beautifully, eloquently expressed. And I'm thinking about this ourselves. Who am I? So according to what I have read from the Baha'i writings, that we have two nature in us. We have the positive and negative. We have the angelic nature and satanic nature as well. And it's competing every day. That's what I sometimes I get the, okay, let's say I have this. In us, there is the black and white, the angelic and the satanic. It's competing every day, balancing every day. And if we educate ourselves spiritually, our angelic side becomes stronger and stronger every day. That's why we need to read the holy writings, the words of God, to educate ourselves, because we have this nature to overcome the satanic self. So if we don't, then what happens? It dominates. The other nature of us dominates. And then the satanic one has no sense of shame. That's why it has the courage to do what is wrong, to do some like murdering or backbiting or slandering. Sometimes we say that it is imbalance. It is related to mental disorder, but also because of lack of spiritual education. So if we are spiritually educated, we get our strength from the source of all strength, from the Almighty, from the all-powerful, from the provider. We get that. You see, that's why if we serve and make other people happy, we ourselves are happy. We don't need those medication to make us happy. We just need to do good. And when you make somebody happy, you yourself is happy. Just simple as doing something good to others. Even to the animals, to the nature you feed. And they are even so grateful. And you yourself make yourself happy. That's why the spiritual education will give us the strength, the true happiness, and the true nature of ourselves will become prominent. Otherwise, we become so shameless that we do whatever we like to do like a wild animal. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comment, Archana?
Perfect, sir. Perfect. Very well explained.
Okay, and Yung?
Yeah, I have a quick question to ask you. Talk about courage and related to happy and acceptance, like Sandy just mentioned. Is that a good thing? Just say, if I got a nature, just say, for example, I got a nature that I already got a green pasture. I'm the owner of a green pasture, but I always looking for a better green pasture, bigger one, you know, more land, more green, more beautiful things. So I have to have courage to be happy at the same time. But then if I acceptance of what I have, then I won't be happy because I'm greedy, because I want more and more and more, and always looking for more green things. Like, you know, you're not happy with the situation you are there because like you are a millionaire already, but you want to be billionaire. So is that a good thing? And you want to looking for, you know, like a green pasture. You pass on one green pasture, not big enough for me, move on. And then you get happy. Thank you.
We should not compare with others or be jealous of others, something that is better than us. But same time, we should not stop growing in life, because see, we are our soul. When we believe that my limited me is connected to the unlimited God, I should bring, like, for example, I am born to my parents. I should bring good name to my parents. I should never do anything that, if I am stupid, and if I am happy and satisfied, content with what I am, if I am stable, it gives, it doesn't increase the status of my parents. So same way, to show my connection with God, I should keep growing in life without comparing, without thinking the others, the pasture on other side is more green, and without feeling bad, without hurt, focusing only on my work, and I should continue to grow all my life. Hope I answered.
But then your answer exactly can't explain why in some countries the men allowed to get married to many women. Polygamy. Polygamy because they're looking for green pastures.
No, I mean, that's
in some countries. So
These
whatever
are-
I say, your subject got to be limitation, you know, your subject.
These are cultures that was practiced in the past. It is becoming less and less. And that is why the manifestations of God come time to time, bring new laws so that that is suitable for the growth of the humanity. Now, if we understand the purpose of life, then we will understand what is happiness. I mean, the quote that I shared earlier, the inner joy that every individual seeks, unlike passing emotion, is not contingent on outside influences. So the true happiness does not depend on outside. It is within, inside. It's a condition that we consciously create, knowing what is permanent and what is just a temporary thing. If we are focusing on temporary thing and wants to have more and more, there's endless misery. There's no happiness. A temporary happiness may be there, whether when you have an ice cream or buy a new dress, or when you have passed an examination, when you give birth to a child, or whatever it is. But beyond that, the real happiness is within ourselves, knowing what is temporary and what is permanent. Sandy?
Yes, just to supplement what you said, there are two things in the psychological term. There are two psychological terms that I thought just to share them. So for example, one is when a person is having self-actualization, then he gets authentic happiness.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
There's a quote that says, we cannot be happy if we don't use all our potential. So
Yes,
psychology says that.
that's right. That's what you mentioned, that we still had to grow, means we had to bring out the potential that within us, that is deposited by the Creator. That is what the true happiness is. Ahmed?
Yeah, I just want to comment about that good pastures. You know, Baha'u'llah has got a tablet that it says that, I'm paraphrasing it, if you have a golden cup and you are able to drink from a golden cup, well done, do it. But don't be attached to that golden cup and boast about that golden cup that you have. That's the problem, you know. So it's good to look for better pastures. But if you are attached to that concept of trying to get better pastures, then you're attached. So then the problem comes through. So there's nothing wrong to be wealthy, as long as you're fair, you don't boast about it. If you are able to drink from a golden cup, by all means, the person should drink from a golden cup.
Well, what I try to say that I am not encourage men to go look for green pastures. I didn't mean that.
Yes.
But some people might say, oh, that implication. Do you know what I mean?
That comes from an old order, those concept of polygamy is coming from old order. In the modern time, it cannot be, it's not achievable. It's not possible. Economy doesn't allow it, and other things doesn't allow it.
Okay, well, that's probably, I mean, this is not directly related to this topic, but we had to understand there are still many malpractices in the world. But compared to 100 years, 1,000 years ago, we have well advanced. And there is no doubt that humanity as a whole is progressing towards that kingdom of God on earth. And every one of us, individually and collectively, we have to work towards that, and we are working towards that. Our dialogue here is for that purpose. So thank you for the contribution, Nasran.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation. It is interesting for me, the vision, our vision to the events affect our mental health. And normally we have a lot of different situations that we have stress, we have sadness, we have we are depressed, but it is important with the power of our vision to the events, we can come back to be stable and to the normal situation. And if we can't come back, it is mental health issues and disorder. When we can't come back and we are stuck, and it is so important, our vision to the events or to the faults, to the mistakes, to the bad happening, that all of them cause our experience to growth, to be better, and we use them in a good way for growing, not for shame or blaming or a stop in our progress. Thank you.
Siva, you are muted.
Thank you, Nasran. That was beautiful. What you said reminded me of a prayer by the Bab. It's just one sentence. It says, by the virtue of my love for thee, I know of a certainty by the virtue of my love for thee, that thou wilt never cause tribulations to befall any soul, unless thou desirest to exalt his station in thy celestial paradise, and to buttress his heart in this earthly life with the bulwark of thine all-compelling power, that it may not become inclined towards the vanities of this world. So the God, the all-powerful, almighty God, will never allow any soul to suffer except for this reason, to exalt us in the celestial paradise, in the spiritual growth, and to become detached from this material world. So everything that we think as harmful or undesirable happening to us, God is allowing this to happen because He wants us to spiritually grow and He wants us to be detached from this material world. Thank you very much. And we have actually passed 9 p.m. here. It was a wonderful presentation, Archana, and hopefully another time you can prepare another one and motivation. We will see you all next week. Thank you and God bless you.
God bless you.
Bye.
Have a
Thank you all.
Have a
Everyone,
bye-bye.